This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers thousands of classes on topics like productivity, fine art, freelance, creative writing, and more. I recently found Cindy Gunter-Baldo on YouTube when I was looking up planner content, and I was excited to learn that she was also a teacher on Skillshare. I don't know about you, but procrastination has always been an issue for me in my work life, and it's gotten worse over this past year as I've struggled with my health. So Cindy's class, Project Planning for Procrastinators, has been really helpful for me, and honestly the perfect little reset in this new year as I plan for the future. This class is a perfect example of the variety of content that Skillshare offers. Skillshare is ad-free, less than $10 a month with an annual subscription, and a great way to learn something new or deepen your existing passion. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare's premium membership, so you too can explore your creativity. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you around my kitchen, my minimalist, plastic-free-ish kitchen, and I'm going to show you inside all the cabinets and drawers and sort of talk you through my thought process of like why I store things the way that I do and different organizational tips that I have. So let's get into it. This is the kitchen. As you can see, it's small. It's like the traditional galley style kitchen, but I actually really like the size because it helps me to not overbuy. I mean, generally, I am not just going out and shopping for fun. That's something that keeps me aligned with my like minimalism goals. Maybe I should do a video about my minimalism goals. Leave a comment below if you'd be interested in that. But basically, it's a small space, but it fits everything we need, and I'm really happy with it. So we're a big fan of mason jars. There's two missing because Nick and I were both drinking smoothies, and they're not in the kitchen right now. And then these are these cups from Clean Canteen that we've had for years. I also have lids for these and little cozies in case we use them for hot drinks. Those are great. We use them for camping all the time too, and just everyday life. Nick loves taking those to work. This is my coffee cup, and then we have two mugs and two sort of, I guess these would be like champagne glasses. I like to use them for like sparkling water and stuff too, just to feel a little fancy. And then up here we have more mason jars, some jars that we got from the farm, some storage containers, more storage containers. I love these for freezing. So if I'm making like hummus or pesto from scratch, I'll freeze, you know, like individual servings in these jars. Or tomato paste is another great example. They freeze really well and they're super easy to clean, so I really like those. And then this is my first sort of organizational hack. So I love these little, I don't even know what they would be called, cabinet organizer or something. It's made out of metal, and I keep my stasher bags on top of it. And then up here, I have this plastic container of a few random things I'll show you. So this is my bin of like random kitchen essentials, and this has been streamlined over the years. It's kind of just filled with the random kitchen utensils, or I guess like appliances that are hard to store. These especially I use often for filling jars or what have you, but they're super hard to store. I find that if I just keep them in a cabinet, they end up falling towards the back and I forget about them, but they fit perfectly right here. And then this is a Veggie Spiralizer. I have this like cheese grater, I guess. I use it for grating vegetables, and then my steamer. And I love that all of these are corralled really easily, because if I were to just keep them up here without any container, they would be really hard to get to, and I would need a step stool to get to them. But because I just have them in the container, they're really easy to manage. This is where we keep our plates and food containers and some water bottles up here. I also keep my Vitamix out. It's a little bit foggy right now because we just used it. As you can see, I generally like to keep the countertops clean, but the Vitamix is something that I use every day and I don't mind keeping it out like this. I only have 4 of each bowl and plate here right now, and then these weren't from a set, but I have the other things packed away. We have one kitchen like bin that's in our storage closet. I have the rest of our set in that bin for, you know, down the line when we can have people over again and stuff. But generally, having just 4 of each works really well for just the 2 of us, and it ensures that we don't end up having a ton of dirty dishes and have to spend a lot of time cleaning up the kitchen. I'm generally not a huge proponent of buying things new, but this is something new that I purchased in here, and it's these glass storage containers, and I really like them because all the lids are uniform. So even though they're 2 different sizes, the lids are the same for all of them, and that makes my life a lot easier. And I like that they're glass. They're pretty heavy duty, and I'm pretty sure I could bake in them as well, maybe up to like 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a little container that I thrifted years ago. I used to keep my stasher bags in it, but now I have some just little random things, and I really like it because it keeps them separate from other things, and again, it keeps me from losing them in the back of the cabinet. So I'll show you what they are here. So as you can see, these are just like random little things that we do use, but they're hard to store in my opinion. I have this tiny stasher bag that I generally use for like stuff for Nick's lunch, so I keep it in here. This I've had for maybe 10 years. Gosh, I don't even know. This was like my first mason jar accessory, and I use it if I'm going out and, you know, to put hummus in it. Some tea accessories here. These are the lids for those. And then again, these are just some smaller containers that we use either for lunches or camping or things like that. And I just like how they fit perfectly in this little container. So up at the top, I have this one 2-tiered to-go container, and then probably more clean canteens than we need for just the 2 of us, but they're such great quality and they last for a long time. And, you know, we'll use them for water and smoothies and stuff like that. So we do end up using them, and we have the space for them up there, so I don't mind keeping them all. And now I guess I'll show you this bottom part. I hope this video is interesting for you. So don't judge me by how many essential oils that I have in this cabinet, but I do use them all, and I used to sell them. So just, yeah, it's fine. This is actually an old utensil storage container that I use to organize my essential oils. And then these are some supplements that we use every day, my allergy stuff and Nick's multivitamin. More of my supplements that I have to use right now, and some other medical stuff are organic Olivia herbs that we love. So I like having everything really easy to see right there. So with essential oils, I used to store them. I mean, I've stored them over the years in a ton of different ways. I'm really grateful to have the drawer space in this kitchen because I feel like when I'm filling up diffusers or whatever, I'm doing it here and I can see what I have here and just do it really effectively or efficiently, I guess you would say. And the labels on top do help, and the fact that they're organized in this little utensil caddy really helps too because they don't fall over and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the cabinet right underneath, and this is where we really get into sort of my mentality of organizing in the kitchen. I love containers, especially because we have deep cabinets, and I find that with little things like this, they can so easily get lost in the back of the cabinet. So I love storage containers like this. So all of these, I remember I thrifted a pack of these little containers too, and I think that they fit the lids perfectly. So yeah, these are the lids I was talking about for our food storage. They are so great because they're just flat and they're all the same size. And then I recently invested in these stainless steel mason jar lids. These are the little cozies that I was talking about having for those stainless steel clean canteen containers. And then these are just the lids that we have for, again, these are for the stainless steel clean canteen cups. There's like a coffee one and one that you can use a straw with, and we use those often. And then these are, you know, for some of the other reused jars. Right here, I have this little Lazy Susan that I use for my coffee. So I have decaf and regular, and then my coffee grinder right here. I also use a French press, but it's in the dishwasher right now. This bottom cabinet's kind of random, but it works for us. So Nick really likes this glass cutting board, so I have that for him. And then a strainer, a little Pyrex, an ice cube tray that I could probably fill up with water and put in the freezer, but I just haven't, and then a little reusable baking sheet. So it might seem overkill for me to have the little metal shelves in here, but I prefer it because generally, I mean, right now my cookie sheets are just in the oven because that's where I have them and where I store them sometimes. But I put these here with the expectation that I would store my cookie sheets on top, because in the past, I would have just put my cookie sheets on the bottom and then stacked everything up on top of them. And then to get to them, it would be this whole thing to have to move everything. And that's just annoying when you're trying to cook, to have to move things and put everything back. So my goal with this kitchen is to have just enough organization to where it's easy for me to get to the things that I have without having to like take everything apart and put everything back. And I feel like in a small space that can be sort of the feeling because everything's crammed together. So that's another huge reason that I prefer to have less things so that I just have what I need and it's not like a whole thing to like get to the things that I want, you know? Okay, next we're going under the sink. This is pretty, This is pretty full, but I still think it's really easy to get to everything. So we'll start right here. This is where I keep my cleaning stuff. I've definitely minimized since the last time we've spoken about cleaning, and I feel like I need to do an updated video. I really like this stuff. It's made out of water, vinegar, salt. So I have that, and then I also just have my normal Castile soap water everyday everything cleaner. And then these are both pretty empty right now. There's a little bit of Castile soap in here. This is what I would use at my bulk store. And then white vinegar I use a lot with baking soda, you know, if I need a little bit of grit to like scrub the sink or something. So that's great. Back here is kind of an assortment of random things. This is a platter that I got from Grove that I was using to hold some stuff, and now I'm not using it. I don't know if I'm going to declutter it, so I'm just holding on to it for a little bit. And then I have some different jars back here. So if you've been around my channel for a while, then you know that I try to reduce my plastic waste and just recycling any type of waste in general the best I can. I'm not perfect about it by any means, but I do the best I can, and that's all any of us can do, right? So that being said, I don't keep all of my jars and just hold on to them. It's just not what works for me personally. I will clean them out before I recycle them, or I'll hold on to them and then put them up on my Buy Nothing group for other people to take and use. But I do have some jars back here with the lids on. I really love pickle jars, and this was a pasta sauce jar, and those are great for reusing and gifting, in my opinion. I also have some bulk, what is this called? Baking soda. And then back there is a lemon oil peel spray that I've had for probably like 6 years. And I've used in the past to spray around the house to prevent like bugs and ants from coming in the summer. And then up here in this little container, I have some of our bags. So I have some paper bags to reuse, some food scrap compostable bags, and then these plastic bags. So we actually just recently got a trash can right there. Very exciting. In the past, I would just put our recycling in a paper bag and take it down to our local recycling center. But unfortunately, since 2020, that center's been closed and it doesn't seem like it's going to open again anytime soon. So at this new place, we have a dumpster that we use, and our landlord pays a company to come and take the recycling out of it. That being said, they insist that we put our trash in a trash bag. So I got these 100% reclaimed plastic trash bags from Thrive Market. And then same thing with our compost. In our old apartments, I would just put the compost directly into the curbside compost pickup, but they make us put it in bags here, so I have these compostable bags. Okay, so this front little section here is what I probably use the most. So this is the Grove Hydrating Foaming Hand Soap Refill. I really liked this. I have 2 left, and then I used this container to refill with Castile soap that now I'm thinking about I could have put in here, but I think these are 2 different scents, and that's why I kept them separate. I used this grapefruit seed extract to clean my produce. I just put 10 drops of it in a really big container of water, a big bowl of water, and wash my produce that way. And I really like it. It lasts a really long time. This is a cleaning concentrate that I think I either got from the Ecology Center or Bring Your Own Long Beach, I can't remember, but Little Green Wagon is a great local brand. And then Meow Meow Tweets sent me this hand soap refill. I've been really liking it, and I think I'm going to purchase it myself. And then right here we have the Drops dishwasher pods. I really like these, and I've been using this little milk glass container to store them because it's functional and I get to see this every day and I really like it. And then this is the little mechanism, I don't know what to call it, that makes this cleaning spray. This is everything that's in here. I used to have a lot more bulk storage that I would hold on to, like beans and grains and stuff, and I would have them in those big glass containers. I'm not holding on to that much inventory, I guess you would say nowadays. But I haven't gotten rid of those because I feel like I'll use them for other things. And if I don't in the next 6 months, then I'll put them up on my buy nothing group, or, you know, see if my sister wants them or something. So anyway, 2 Le Creuset, I don't know how to pronounce it. This one was my mom's. I've been looking for a lid at the thrift store for it, but I haven't found one yet. And then this is a stainless steel one. It's great because it has a little strainer on it. And then under here, I just have my strainer. And then this is my soda stream. I just took the back off of it. And then there's nothing else under here, which is great because it would be hard to get back there and I feel like things would get lost. But because I just have those 2 things and then my pots and pans, you know, minus the jars, it's really easy to find everything. Okay. Up next, we have this drawer. This is kind of random and something that I'm still working on. This is just like a backup parchment paper and little paper bags. I really love this brand, If You Care. It's kind of a funny name, but they do really good compostable, you know, baking stuff. And then this is sort of like our junk drawer. Not too much to show there. It would be great if this were all pantry storage, but it's not. It's just our hot water heater. So, you know, not much to see there. I'm not going to get into our fridge right now because this video is already super long, but I'll show you what's around it. So up here in this basket, I have my Instant Pot, I have my almond cow, and then some other large jars. I don't have anything in those cabinets up there because they would be impossible to get to. But up here, I do have a few pieces that I love but don't use often. This is obviously our vent fan. And then this is all my Pyrex. So I love all of this Pyrex. I feel like the size of my Pyrex collection is really manageable for me. I use all the bowls, or I feel like I honestly haven't been using them very much recently because I would use them mostly when we had people over. If I'm being honest, when I'm cooking, I've been using these very kind of like ugly, but very like streamlined and practical bowls to cook. They fit perfectly in my oven, but I'm not going to get rid of the Pyrex because I do love it, and I know that once I can have people over again, I'll start using it again. So for now, it's up there. I have my kettle. Obviously, my cutting board doesn't stay here all the time, but I just have it there for now. I have some kitchen rags. So these I use instead of paper towels. These are my salt and pepper shakers that I got on eBay, brand new in the box, and I love shopping eBay for that. And then here we're into like our utensils and tools and stuff, right? So I guess I'll open both of these. I really, really, really love bamboo drawer dividers, if you haven't been able to tell already. And then, yeah, this is just like really streamlined. I need to get her knife sharpened, and this probably shouldn't be like this. My favorite knives are honestly these little opal, how do you say that? They might just be my favorite because they're so much sharper than our other knives right now, but anyway, all of these things are tools that I use on a weekly basis. And then over here, I have our everyday utensils, measuring cups, measuring spoons, a little soy sauce dish, and then just like other cooking tools, right? A rule that I like to remind myself when it comes to like minimizing my stuff is I think about if I can just get by with one or none. And I think that's a concept that the Minimal Mom shares a lot on her channel. She has a channel here on YouTube that I'll link below. But that helped me a lot, like when it came to my spatula. I don't even have a spatula. Is this considered a spatula? Okay, anyway, I have none spatulas or no spatulas, but I used to have 2 sets of tongs, and I realized that I didn't ever need 2 sets of tongs at once. And if I did, I could just quickly rinse it off, the one that I had, and use it. So that's helped me a lot to really minimize the things that I have. With kitchen shears too, I used to have 2 sets of those, and I just realized that I didn't need that. And yeah, that concept has just really helped me in my journey to become more minimal. So there you have it. I think these are our last cabinets, are they? Are they? The Berkey is a water filter. I don't think you can see on camera. I have the Berkey, which is our water filtering system that I really like. Over here, I have baking soda. This is usually filled with white vinegar, and then dish soap, hand soap. I really like this cloth scrubby. In the past, I've used like zero waste brushes, and those are great, but I've just noticed that for me, I prefer something like this that I can throw in the dishwasher and easily disinfect. Just trying to make sure I didn't forget anything before I get into the last cabinet. I think I'm good. If you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comments below. But this last set of cabinets down here is where we store all of our, I guess, like pantry stuff, you would say. There are 2 plastic storage containers in here that are new. And I feel like it's important to show because it just shows you again that I'm not perfect and I do buy plastic sometimes, but these are things that I plan to have for a really long time. And not that that's justifying it, but it is what it is. Okay, let's go. So this is our pantry system. And it's honestly worked so well for us here. I find drawers are so much more effective for me to organize in as opposed to just big cabinets, because big cabinets, in my experience, things get lost in the back of them and it's just so much easier to organize drawers. I'll show you what I mean. So in here, I have like pretty basic backstock stuff. I have some sweet potatoes in this reusable produce bag. I haven't been able to find sunflower seeds in bulk anywhere. If you live in Southern California and you know of a place to get plastic-free sunflower seeds, please share, because Trader Joe's is the only place that I've found that has like even like sort of a big bag. Anyway, those are like my treat, sunflower seeds, so I have those on here, or in here. I have some like random stuff that Nick takes to work, sometimes like in a pinch, and then just tomato sauce that I use, and then my favorite of all time is Clamato olives. I love olives. So anyway, but can you just see how this is so much easier to see what you have as opposed to just a full, cabinet of whatever. So this is like stuff that I'm using this week. And then this one, as you can see, would be hard to get to because of this wooden piece here. This is all backstock stuff. So I'll just show you this coconut milk here. This is backstock because I've already decanted a can of coconut milk into a jar in the fridge. So I'm not going to be using this week, and so I'm not going to be reaching for it. I can keep it in the sort of backstock stuff. This container I'm not going to pull out because it's all of my vitamins and supplements. I'm having to take quite a few things right now as I'm getting back on my journey to health from my autoimmune diagnosis. So anyway, that's all supplements and vitamins and whatever. So super fun. And then this is my little container of kitchen towels. I'm trying this experiment where I just have this many and I want to see if I can get by with a smaller amount, because I feel like if I had a smaller amount, it would obviously, the idea of minimalism is like you have fewer things and then you have less things to manage and your life is easier, right? So this is just an example of me not being perfect and trying something new to see if it works for me. And I'm not going to get rid of any of my other towels, but I'll pack them away in like a quarantine bin for a week, maybe a week and a half, and see if I miss them. And if I don't, then we'll go from there. This little container has all of our spices and stuff. Also some tea. I really like throat coat tea. I honestly don't buy tea bags anymore except this one because I haven't found a bulk tea that has these ingredients in it. When I have a sore throat, this really, really helps. But if I, were to be able to find these in a bulk tea, I wouldn't buy this. But anyway, I don't use this often, just when I'm feeling sick, and I just like to have it on hand just in case. So anyway, some of these are bulk, as you can see here. These are bulk spices that I purchased from Azure Standard. Some of them, like this, is also bulk, but it's running low and I have it just in here. You see, these are also bulk. So yeah, I'm not perfect but that's okay. These I got from a hotel stay from a while ago and I haven't used them yet. But yeah, so those are our spices. And then this big old container just has all of our extra pantry stuff. I really love this container and I don't want to tell you to buy it because it is plastic, but it's made my life a lot easier. One thing I'll say is that I have seen big, I think these are called Lazy Susans, right? Lazy Susies. such a weird name. But anyway, I have seen big Lazy Susans at the thrift store, not this sort of like acrylic material, but that's fine. So definitely check secondhand if you're interested in any of these organizational tools before buying new. Yeah, just promise me you'll do that because I feel bad showing you this plastic container. But anyway, this has made this tight storage space really easy for me to navigate. So these are my oven mitts. I love these because they're kind of dirty right now, but they're so small and they're easy to clean. And I always got kind of grossed out by those, like, you know, fabric ones. This is a container that I think I also got from Thrive Market, and it's great because I can refill it with avocado oil or olive oil, and it's a spray bottle. This is Nick's favorite jam, and it was on sale on Thrive Market for like $2 or something, really cheap, so I got those for him. And then yeah, just random sauce, vinegar, stuff like that is what I keep in here. One more thing that I'll mention, because I know I'll probably get questions about it, especially from those of you who've seen my past kitchen videos. I do have bulk stuff still, but I generally just keep it all in my fridge. I also have some random things like my teas that I keep over on this little bookshelf. I know that's weird, but it works for me. I just don't keep most of it, you know, in my little pantry area because the jars are too big, and I prefer to keep my nuts and seeds and stuff that can spoil quickly in the fridge so that it'll last longer. So there you go, just in case you were worried about that. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And I hope, you know, this video was interesting to you or inspiring in some way. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.